All right. Good evening, dear colleagues and participants joining us across the group. We are back live on Transformation 2060. And tonight we have the erudite scholars with us. Let me say 3 lineup speakers, not just ordinary speakers, speakers that their messages, the training discipline will definitely transform your life as a teacher. So we have in the house with us the Microsoft MVP himself, our great mentor, Olalekan Adieko, in the studio with us this evening. We also have that wonderful friend from Texas, that's Dr. Amos. He's also here with us. Then we have Dr. Abimbola Arigba with us. So we are starting with the Microsoft MVP. Microsoft MVP is in the studio with us here. Of course, if I'm to go and start reading his profile, I'm sure you know, of course, it's going to take like 30 to 40 minutes before I went reading his profile. So, and of course, I know him very well. He's my mentor. He doesn't want people to start reading his profile like that. He wants us to go straight to the business. And of course, his household name in the Federal Republic of Nigeria, that is the Microsoft MVP himself. That man that have really, break down everything that has to do with technology in our own language. Anytime you see Adewale teaching mathematics, those are the brain behind that. Those are the people that inspire us to do this. And we have the great honor to have in our midst today the Microsoft MVP himself, the co-founder, Third Prime Hub, Olalekan Adieko. Over to you, boss.
So good evening, everybody. Good evening, Dr. Adewale. Good evening, everybody on the call. So I hope you can hear me loud and clear, right, Mr. Adewale?
Yes, clearly, sir.
Yeah,
I can hear you, sir.
Okay. And can you see my screen now?
Yes, we can see your screen, sir.
Okay, all right. So again, good evening, and then it's a wonderful time again to be able to share with everybody on the call, whether you're joining here on Zoom or you're there on Facebook or anywhere you're joining us from. So I have just an hour and I want to ensure that I maximize the use of the time. So the topic of discussion today is exploring digital tools, AI, and STEM kits for mathematics learning. So that is what we're going to be discussing this evening. And I'll limit the amount of introduction and all that. It's just to go straight to business of the day. Esther Adele, you might want to mute your mic. Okay. So let me ask this question and I will expect feedback in our chats. Why does math still feel like a punishment to some students? I know many of us are, maybe we are teaching mathematics, you're teaching other STEM subject, maybe physics, chemistry, and all that. So if you're teaching physics or chemistry, you can just substitute the maths in my question with physics or chemistry or biology. Why does your subject still feel like a punishment to some students, especially mathematics? Why is it that if you talk to 20 students, maybe about 10, 12 of them will say mathematics is their headache? Why is it that? So I want us to just drop something in the chats in 1-2 minutes. Why do you think a lot of people still complain about mathematics? Why do you think they do that? So I'm expecting our feedback in the chats. I'm still waiting for, even if it is just 1 or 2 before I proceed. Why does math still feel like punishment to students? even if it is chemistry or physics, why do you think that students still have issues with a particular subject? You know, they're struggling to understand the concept. They are struggling to understand what the whole thing is all about. Can you still hear me? Because I'm not getting any feedback here. I hope you can still hear me, right?
Yes, clearly, sir. Clearly, sir.
Okay. Olaushebiko said they believe it is very difficult to assimilate. Okay, that's something. So that's why they still believe it's a form of punishment. Why are we even learning mathematics? Must we all learn mathematics? I want to study something else. Do I still need to understand mathematics or any of the other STEM subjects? So the problem is there. We have students that are still they still run with the notion, with the belief that mathematics or physics or chemistry is something difficult. Okay, they believe it's something difficult. They struggle to understand it. And for us as educators, our job is to ensure that we are able to carry all the learners along and we are able to move them up from the knowledge and comprehension up to analysis, synthesis, application, and even evaluation. That's what we need to do. So how can we leverage technology to work up this Bloom taxonomy of learning? You know, how can we use technology to support ourselves while helping the student? So that is exactly what this session is all about. Yusuf said it's because of the abstract nature and the ways teachers take the subjects. I love that you are not just absorbing yourself of what is going on. You're already looking at educators as well, how they take the subjects. Kehinde is saying the mindset of the learners. And Funke is saying, Adefunke is saying lack of interest. So all these problems are there, including what Dosumu just dropped, that it's the nature of mathematics that scare them away. With all these things that we've dropped in the chat, can we now give up and say because it's the student problem, it's their mindset, it is mathematics fault, then we should just do whatever we can do and let them be? We can leverage technology to be able to help our students, you know, go beyond these rhetorics, to go beyond this care, to go beyond these mindsets. And that is part of what we will be discussing today, how to help ourselves. So a lot is changing in mathematics, in STEM. So don't worry if I'm just mentioning mathematics here. I'm literally using it as a point of contact to all the other subjects out there. So what is changing in education? So we are supposed to move from memorization to deep understanding using real life examples and context. One way of helping the student to see beyond the subject as being abstract is to use real life examples and context. Instead of just teaching them, oh, this is something A and B, X and Y, you want to use something relatable. You want them to see why they are learning algebra. You want them to see why they are learning this particular concept in physics, chemistry, or biology. You want to use real life examples and context. And you don't need to struggle to get these real life examples and context. You've got technology. We'll get there. You can leverage AI to be able to help you draw up real life examples or context about a particular topic. So that when you are introducing the topics to the students, you are not just talking about something they can't relate with. You are using things they encounter every blessed day. So from memorization to deep understanding, we are not just going to teach our students to just memorize, cram all the 20 elements. When you now ask them, how do we even use, you know, iron, for example, they struggle. What's the function of, you know, iodine or, you know, any of they now struggle. They don't know what we're talking about. Use real life example. We're moving from uniform teaching to personalized learning. We all understand the fact that we've got different students in our classes and they learn in different ways. Some are auditory learner. The moment you talk to them, they understand. Some are visual learners. They need to see things before they can understand. Some, they do more with their hands, psychomotor. They want to be able to blend things and work on things. We have 40 minutes to differentiate in our class. It's a difficult challenge, but you can leverage AI to help you come up with activities suitable for different categories of students. So we are not just teaching them, putting every one of them in one box. We are now trying to do what we call the personalized learning. You will teach them what is in the scheme of work. Everybody must be able to do this. But when it comes to the class activities, you want to come up with different activities that are targeted at different categories of students. So if, for example, I want to work on an activity, I can have an option. Pick the one that speaks more to me. So that way you're bringing all your students together and they are learning in their own way. We're moving from just static content. You're just writing notes on the board. This time around, we're moving towards dynamic visual simulations and interactive platforms. I know you must have been exposed to FETs. You must have talked about different platforms out there, videos, animations. So instead of just teaching our students something, you are now demonstrating. They are now able to see in form of visuals. They are now able to see what you're talking about in videos. And these are things that we can now achieve with technology. And when they see things moving, instead of teaching them, oh, geography now, the earth rotates around the sun and it takes a certain number of days to complete the cycle. You're not showing them a video or a simulation that is showing something like that. They tend to understand it better. Or you're teaching them chemical equation and you're seeing how those chemicals are forming, or maybe how you're trying to do, different things. That is what it's changing in education, regardless of the subject you're teaching. We're moving away from teacher-led to student-led. I do tell people, in your class, if you are the one that is using technology and your students are just there to consume whatever you are showing on the screen, then you are not using technology in your class. The student should be the one to construct knowledge using technology. It is not just for you to show, oh, I can use this tool in my class, and you're doing a whole lot of things, and the student are saying, wow, see Mr. Yusuf, oh, wow, see Miss Alabi, that is, oh, she was able to do this and do that. But the students, they do not have any chance of using those tools. No, they should be the ones to use the tools to construct knowledge. So everything we're learning, everything you've been able to learn in this particular program, you should be able to transfer it to your students and let students start engaging with all these tools to construct knowledge. You cannot do everything, as teachers, you can't do everything. In fact, you cannot cover the entire curriculum before they write WAEC. You can't cover everything from A to Z. You do your best. You will cover the curriculum that has been planned, your weekly things, but you will still have some aspects that you won't cover. But when your student, when they know how to use technology to learn what they have not been taught, then it is more about the student-driven exploration using all these tools. So we're moving away from just, paper-based assessment, you wait to the end of the day before you give them feedback. Right now, you can leverage technology for students to get feedback every now and then. So while you are even sleeping and a student is trying to solve a problem and the student needs a way out, the student can get feedback at every point in time. The student will be able to say, oh, this tool is there. They can run to all these AI tools. Am I correct? Point out the problem in my calculation. Mr. Kuye, you can mute your mic. You can do this. So these are the things that are changing in education, right? So understanding the three things that are in my topic, talking about the digital tools, AI itself, and STEM kits, When we say digital tools, we're talking about applications and platforms. This can be in form of mobile applications on our phone. It can be in form of software that you installed on your computer systems. It can be in form of websites that you visit and then you are able to, learn and support mathematics or STEM. So you've got those tools. And the second aspect is what the world is talking about now. That is artificial intelligence. So you're not talking about smart system that assist or personalized learning for your students. Take notes, I am making this about the student, not just about us. Okay, we want to be the guide by the side and not the sage on the stage. It is their world now. We've done our own GSS or SS exam. Some of us wrote WAEC, maybe 99, 2000 and all that, but this is their world now. So we want to help them however we can for them to be able to actualize their dreams. So we can leverage tools like AI, which is when the artificial intelligence, the man-made intelligence, to help our students to do a whole lot of things. And the third aspect is the STEM kits, where our student can have an opportunity to use all these hands-on tools. It could be in form of 3D shapes, it could be in form of Lego, it could be in form of, even just math sets, the big math set for them to construct things and do stuff. It could even be in form of ordinary rope that they are tying to draw something or to, do bearing and all that. So they can use these tools. You can support them to use all these tools to support learning. Not just you using the tools, but you are using the tools, the students are also using the tools to support their learning. It is when both of you are able to leverage technology to do this, that is when you can actually say you are supporting your students. Using technology is more than, or AI is more than what I have on the screen. To many of us, we just feel, let's go to Copilot or let's go to ChatGPT or Bard or Grok or DeepSeek or whatever LLM you want to talk about. And then we just go there and say, what is 15 multiplied by 27? Okay, solve this algebra for me. Okay, what is the area of a triangle that has a base of 8 and a height of 6? This is the elementary level. We can do more than this to help our student. In fact, we should not teach our student to just jump on these AI tools and just ask direct questions. We can do more. And how can we use them effectively? These are the next set of things that I will show us before we now jump onto the web and try and just practice some of those things, You can use AI as a co-teacher. Okay, you are a teacher. You need somebody else as your co-teacher. And in turn, the student can use the AI as a fallback teacher too. So when you use AI to explain math problem in different ways to your students, for them to be able to now have a better understanding. Ordinarily, you want to explain geometry. I know math teachers on the call will agree with me that not many teachers love to teach geometry and some other topics like that. In advanced level, many of them will run away from ring analysis and some other topics because they are kind of too abstract. But you can have your co-teacher in form of AI that you can prompt to help you come up with storytelling ways of explaining these concepts, or how to use real-life analogies to explain these topics, or come up with a storyline that you can use to introduce the topic. Ada is a girl. Ada was planning to visit the grandma at the village. Ada was trying to consider the road from his house to Kirikon that is 10 kilometers, but will make turns like 5 times. And the other road is this, and then he's trying to look for the route that is shorter in terms of time so that it can meet up with his afternoon lesson at home. You want to come up with a story that at the end of the day, you are linking that story with the topic that you are teaching. You don't need to make that up yourself. What I was trying to do now, I was making it up in my head. So that was why I was stuttering. I was trying to, put the words together. But you can leverage AI to come up with these stories that will take into consideration the context and the concept that you are trying to teach, so that it won't mix things up. It will still be in line with what you're talking about. You want students to understand while you're teaching them the Pythagoras, not Pythagoras, sorry, quadratic equation, and you are linking that with a parabola, the bridge. You have a story around that while they were constructing it. You want to come up with stories that even in the exam hall, they will remember the story and they will be able to remember the context and the concepts. So AI can act as your co-teacher. You've taught the topic, but students are still complaining, sir, we still do not understand, and you're tired. You're like, how best can I explain this again to this student? You can use visuals. You can tell it to come up with different things that will support your explanation. That's one. Another one is for generating math questions from known to unknown, from basic to advanced level. You want to support your student. You don't want to be like one of my lecturers back then. I don't want to mention his name now because I know some of us on the call will definitely know him. In one of the schools in Ogun State, one of the tertiary institutions in Ogun State, the man will come to class. Let's say the topic of discussion is, I don't want to use that topic. If I say it now, you will know the person. Let's say the topic is one topic. And in the course of explaining the entire thing, we need to jump on another concept. This man will leave the main work and move to the concept that we need to explain before jumping back to the main topic. And in the exam hall, this man may not even ask questions about what we discussed in the class. He will probably teach us 1 + 1, 2 + 2. And in the exam, you'll be seeing 10 divided by 4 factorial, 3, logarithm 20, and everybody will just be like, what's going on here? So you don't want to do that. You want to generate questions for your student from basic to advanced level. You want, as you're teaching them, you're coming up with questions. In fact, let's say many of them are still struggling with the basic questions. You can tell AI to use the format of that question to generate more questions that are in the same format. Williams, you might want to mute, that are in the same format. You can leverage AI to help you, generate many questions. You can leverage AI to generate questions based on difficulty levels, based on curriculum. It will understand the NERDC curriculum. William Oyebola, please mute your mic. It will understand our even curriculum, so you can use AI to generate questions. That's another thing. You can use it to create explainer videos, right? You want to leave something with your students. Even while you're sleeping, they are still learning. While you're not there, you've given them something to play and replay over and over again to understand the concepts. You've got tools like Edpuzzle, tools like Idra, InVideo. These are video generators, AI video generators that you can prompt and say, explain topics, put a topic there in form of video. It will come up with a video and then share the video, edit the video to suit you. You can even add your own voice over it and then share that with a student. So the student can replay this over and over again. You want to drop it on your school's WhatsApp group or the school's Teams or Google Meet or whatever they are using in the school. So you yourself too can even start creating content using these tools. I know that some of these tools are expensive, but at the same time, you still have some that will allow you to create the explainer videos and they will just add what's their watermark. But who cares if you're not planning to make money with that? If all you're doing is just to support your student, so you can still use the free tools and then, create whatever you want to create and drop it there. put your voice over. I know a teacher, a physics teacher in this same Ogun State. The man was in one village then, before he was transferred to Abeokuta. In one village there, he told me that he would use his phone and be recording himself while talking to the phone. He will be solving physics questions on a paper. He will be talking about the steps, recording himself, the audio, and solving it on paper. And at the end of the day, he will take a snapshot of the paper, put it on their school's WhatsApp group, and then add the audio. It's not about how sophisticated the technology is. It's about the flow. It's about your workflow. It's about the goal. It's about your own creativity you're bringing in, ensuring that you still support the student. The person did not use anything AI. He just used basic technology that is available to us. He said something. He said before he could say Jack, he saw students from other schools with his notes, with the audio. So people started sharing the audio with the snapshot of the physics questions and all that. And students started making photocopies of this, started listening to the audio while they were also following the steps. That is something. But this time around, we now have AI tools that can even help us achieve a whole lot. It can write the script. It can even talk in the video, add relevant visuals to it. So you can use all these tools to create something to help your student. So at this particular point in time, we have no excuse whatsoever to say that, oh, there is nothing, there is no way I can support the student. We don't even have this, you can do this to help our student. Personalized practice. You can help your student. There is no way you will say, oh, this student is having issues and you want to give the student more work. And you're like, oh, just open page something in one textbook and copy the question. Maybe you need more question in a particular format to suit that particular student. This time around, you can even guide your student. Show them how to leverage Kamigo, or even the ChatGPT that we talk about, how they can use it and tell it to teach them and show them the steps one by one, all those areas that they struggle with. When we show students what's possible, then they will be able to use it effectively and not just use all this Gen AI as what to run to just get one-liner answers. They can use it to help themselves, to teach them over and over again. Gamified learning with AI. You can use platforms like Prodigy, Quizalize, and all other platforms out there to create games. I made a video about maybe running to 2 weeks now. A platform where you just drop your notes there. And this platform will convert your notes to a kind of a game. It's something looking you avoiding barricades and all that. It's a game. So students are playing the game, but they are saying the questions on the barricade, or as they are picking the right question, they can increase their speed and run faster or drive faster. You can introduce this leveraging. You don't need to learn software development. You don't need to start learning how to write codes and create your own games. You've got platforms that can do this for you. So you have all these tools out there to support the student. We all love games, right? Many of us, we love games. Want to play all these different games. So as you're playing games, you're also learning. We can use AI to create gamified experience for our students in the class. You want to tell stories. I think I mentioned something like this earlier. You want to come up with stories, that the student will find interesting, and at the same time, you are teaching them the concepts. Storytelling is another thing that is super, super cool. You're telling story. In the story, they are also learning. Adeoye, Adepeju, your mic is holding back now. You can tell stories with the context, with the subject you are teaching, and at the end of the day, your student will be able to do what? Oh, this is something that is cool. I understand where we're coming from. I love the story, and in the story, they are also learning. They are also learning. I've tried this. People get bored easily when you're just going straight to the point, So, some of us that kind of follow me online, you see that recently I kind of tell stories, embed the main points in the story. So we tend to relate with them. So the math that are scaring these people away, they're not showing interest, that they believe is abstract. If we wrap it well in a story, they will be able to understand it better. And this time around, some of those tools out there that we can use and we can introduce to our students. One of them is the Math Solver from Microsoft. And the URL is what I have on my screen now, mathsolver.microsoft.com. mathsolver.microsoft.com. In the next few minutes, I'll show us the platform. This is where students can practice with similar problems. It can break questions down for them. In fact, they don't even need to create accounts. They don't even need to sign up or do anything. Just jump on that site. They'll be able to learn on their own. You know what? Even personally now, I have enough time to myself because before my kids will come back from school and say, oh, we've got this assignment. But right now, they have a lot of tools at their disposal. So they know that before they ask me question, they should go and talk to a different platform. They should go and use the tools and try and figure it out. And when they're done, I'll just go there and say, let me see what you've been able to do. How did you do this? So mathsolver.microsoft.com is there. So something like this, the questions will be there. It will break it down for them. I know many of us are familiar with Photomaths. That's an application that we've been using for a lot of several years now on our mobile phone to help solve mathematical problems, break it down step by step. I'll still show you the platform. Another thing is what we call the learning accelerators. Thank you, Kenny. Is the learning accelerators. This is inside Microsoft Teams. For a whole lot of us, if you're in Lagos or you're in Ogun State, I know Ogun State, they've got DigiClass Microsoft 365 account. I know Lagos State did similar thing. The teachers there, they've got 365 account. There is learning accelerators there, and I will demonstrate that. We've got learning accelerator for mathematics. We've got for English, for reading. We also have for speaking. You want to train your student how to speak. There is speaker coach. There is speaker progress. And there is also, yes, Kenny has dropped the link there. There is also the math coach, and there is reading progress and reading coach. Because we're talking mathematics, we're talking STEM, right? So here is that of the maths. And I will demonstrate how you can use this also. It has what we call the math progress and the math coach. The math progress is where the students, you can follow up with the students' progress. You give them assignments, you enable the math coach. So when students are struggling, the coach there will be able to guide the student. The coach this time around is AI, not you. You are sleeping, but you set it up for the student. So when students run into issues, the math coach there on Teams will coach the student how to solve that problem. And after the student must have solved the one problem, the coach with the progress will give the student more questions, more similar questions, for the student to now try it again. And then the coach is also there to guide. That is how the math progress and coach works. It is the student, the teacher will give assignment, student will try and practice. If the student has issues, the coach will be there to do what? To work with the student over and over again online until the student is able to, to now get that particular context. So you can follow this, you create assignment, student complete the assignment, you review the assignment, you track their progress and insight. So you now have something that is supporting you, that is helping you as educators to be able to do a whole lot of work. And this is what it looks like. Like I said, I will go on Teams and show you how to do this with the Microsoft 365 account that you have. And the coach there will track the student mistakes, correct the student mistakes, and even give the student similar work that the student will practice again and again. So when you are not there, the student is learning. The student is facing challenges. There is something there to support the student while you were probably sleeping or doing something else. That is for the AI. So remember, we're talking about general digital tools. We started with all those applications you can use on your mobile phone or website or installed on your system. And now we'll focus more on the AI. And now we're talking about the kits that you can use. We've got what we call robotic kits. You know, these are some of those things that you can get in your school, or maybe we even have in our schools to teach angles, to teach distance, to teach coordinates, and they don't necessarily need to be very, very expensive. In fact, you yourself can even work with a carpenter or somebody, or TD teacher in the school, or intro tech teacher, to construct things that you can use to explain stuff in your class. There is what we call the balance scale. That's just like a big plank, and then you've got a pivot that you can use that alone to teach, balancing. You want to teach.
Hello, sir.
Tiles and circles so that you can use it to visualize parts or equivalence or operations, geoboards and elastic bands. You want to use this to explain things to the student. 3D shape kits for volume, for surface area, for geometry, or if you now have enough to be able to, build different things and different shapes and to explain different contexts. So these are some of those things that you can use, in your school to support your student. We don't have excuses. So we will go online and try a tool. But before we do that, let me just end my presentation and then we go online. Not every digital tool fits every learner or teacher. Yes, somebody like me and a whole lot of people out there, we teach technology like every now and then. But at the same time, I always emphasize that it is not the digital tool or technology that matters. You yourself must be able to understand the goal, understand your workflow. What do you want to achieve? How do you want to achieve what you want to achieve? That is when you can now leverage technology. Technology cannot solve a confused idea. So if your idea is still, you still don't even know what you're doing, technology will just be there. You won't even be able to get the best out of it. So focus on your classroom workflow first. Understand what you want to achieve. Then choose the right tool that truly solve a problem, not just the one that looks really exciting. And treat your subjects. It's more than equations and answers. You're not just teaching mathematics or STEM. You're building thinkers for tomorrow. So all the things that you're using in your class, make sure that the students themselves too are able to do what? To leverage it. Or they are able to leverage it. So let's go online for me to show you some of those things that I mentioned. Number one, I said mathsolver.microsoft.com. So this is mathsolver.microsoft.com. You see that I'm not signing in. No need to sign in or do anything there. You've got solve. Student can type the math problem here. and then it will help them solve it and show them the steps. They can click on practice and type the question there. What you mean by practice is you're telling it you are practicing. Let it give you similar questions and solve it. So I'm saying, oh, generate a quiz for me. I want to use it to practice. So as a student, I want to practice in 5 minutes. Give me questions. Let me see how to solve it, And you also have like a game here that you can play and say, oh, I'm playing something. Let me see what we're doing here. And you have some pre-topics there, algebra, or trigonometry, calculus, and some other things there. Let's say, you see, the game is loading up. Gamification. Student will see games. It's mathematics, but at the same time, it's in form of games. And you can do this, even logging in or doing anything. It's just free, open to anybody out there for them to be able to learn. Let me leave the game. If you come to like linear equation here under algebra, you see questions on linear equation. You can get quiz and for them to to get familiar with and help themselves. Quadratic equations, you have enough questions there. You click on a question, it solves it, explain, show you the steps, show them the steps one by one with explanations. So he's explaining to them. So if your students, they've got their textbook, they have you, and they also have technology, they will be able to do more. Look at it, you still have explainer videos there, solving quadratic equation, and they can still play this video, even after watching, after reading, following the steps. If they still need help, they can follow it here. You've got trigonometric here, they want to simplify some of these questions, and if they have their question, they can always type it there, they can type it there and then they solve whatever they want to solve. These platforms are there to support your student, to support them on their topic. I also made mention of the Math Progress and Math Coach. On Teams, this is Teams. If you're using 365, right? And I'm sure Ogun State people and Lagos people, you've got 365. If you come to a particular team, let's say this is the class that I'm teaching. This is like SS3 now. Inside assignments, you click on assignments and you say create. When you create, you see learning accelerators. And then you got the speaker progress, math progress, search progress, and reading progress. These 4 tools here are super, super important. The first one is for language teachers, reading progress. It will give the student, using AI, generate comprehension passages, and then student will be reading. AI will be scoring their pronunciation, will be scoring their speed, will be giving them the correct pronunciation. That's the coach there. So all progresses here, we have the coaches too. So you have that for language. Search progress is for tech teachers. You want your student to learn how to search for information online, maybe using Bing or using Google or any of those platforms. How can they write their keywords? And how can they determine the sites that are reliable? So with your search progress, it will not even give the students ordinary blogs. It will give them feedback from sites that they can trust. Wikipedia, Britannica, known organization website. So when you're searching for information, it will just bring up different platforms. Maybe one conspiracy theorist is the one running the blog and then throw them off track. The search progress will help the students understand information literacy, how to search for information leveraging AI. The math progress, this is the one that I mentioned to support the teaching of math. The speaker progress, this is where your students can develop their speaking. They want to go for debates, they want to, present about their projects. They've done one STEM project, they want to learn how to present. They will use Speaker Progress. Speaker Progress will tell them to start talking and make presentations. And it will be taking notes of their speed. It will be taking notes of their gesture. It will be taking notes of their, maybe they are saying NNM, and it will help them, groom them, coach them how to speak better. But for this demonstration, I will go straight to Math Progress, right? I'll go straight to Math Progress. This is Math Progress. It will load up right here inside Teams, and you will be able to generate a question. You've got fraction. You want to choose the topic, and you want to generate more questions for your student. You want to generate assignment for them or classwork for them. You see, I just said generate. It generated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 16 questions now. I think I have, 16 questions that it has generated for them, and they can pick it one by one and then try and see how to solve it, break it down. This is one simple question. You can also create your own, meaning you can add questions and then tell the Math Progress to come up with similar questions, just like the one that you must have dropped. What will this do to help you come up with more questions similar to that one that you are teaching them, so that you have many for your students to run with? They won't see, I'm a teacher on this platform. That's why I'm seeing the question, I'm seeing the answers. But the student will not see the answers. They will try and solve it. And if they are unable to solve it, the coach there will now break it down for them and show them how to solve it. So you can use all these tools, they are out there. Again, it is not about the tools, it is about you. So let us ensure that we figure out the problem that we are facing first before we talk about leveraging technology. And it is not about the number of tools that you are familiar with, because if you're not careful, you want to go down that rabbit hole. You just start moving from one tool to the other. You say, oh, ChatGPT is no longer good. You run to Gemini. You run away from there. You go to Copilot. Oh, Bing as well. XAI is just long grok. You go there. Know what you're doing and then learn how to support your student. And finally, like I said earlier on, it is not for you to just show your student that you know how to use the tool. It is for your students to be able to use the tool to construct knowledge. So I'll still wait in case we've got questions, but thank you to Dr. Adewale for putting this together, and we hope this will go a long way in supporting our teachers, and then in a way, we'll be able to rub that on our students, and our students will be able to, be problem solvers, be innovators along the way. So thank you once again for having me. I say this is where I will end my own presentation. I still have about 2 minutes in case we've got questions that we want to ask. So over to you, Dr. Adewale.
Thank you very much, Professor Olalekan Adeeko. Yes, I need to put it in that way. And of course, I know my colleagues here, you definitely know when we are talking about an authority in his own area, we are referring to the great mentor, Olalekan Adeeko. Please join me to appreciate him in the comment section. Use whatever emoji you think it deserves with this wonderful presentation. Join me to appreciate him. A researcher, an expert in learning analytics, an artificial intelligence in education, an education technologist. In fact, it's just from, like I told somebody, was like, when is Adeeko coming? And now we can see him, and I'm sure what you have just got today is just a tip of an eye. And I'm sure for those people that would definitely qualify to the in-person training, we'll get more when we see that man called Olalekan Adeeko, the sage himself. Thank you very much. We really appreciate, firstly, for honoring our invitation, and even for taking out of your scheduled time to share from your wealth of experience with us this evening. Thank you. We pray the Almighty God will continue to strengthen you, more strength from above, sir. And my colleagues, if you have any question, just go to the chat and then drop your question there. He's still very much available here, and I think he still have a few minutes more for his own presentation. We give him 1 hour. Of course, it's loaded. Adebowale is saying you are loaded. Of course, it's loaded. Before you can call someone Microsoft MVP, you will definitely know it's someone that is loaded. And like I told you, we are so lucky. I think all the experience and every other thing he brought from US, we are so lucky to be first set of educators in the country that you'll be sharing those perfume and everything with. We can even feel the aromas and everything. Thank you very much, boss. Like I said, the Almighty God shall continue to strengthen you, more strength from above. We are proud of you. We are happy to have you as our mentor. And in fact, let me just say, it's one of those good things that has ever happened to me as a teacher, knowing someone like you and having you as a mentor. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. So please, he's still around. You can just drop your questions if you have questions for him. And in the studio this evening as well, we have an erudite scholar joining us all the way from US. And we really want to appreciate him. I must be sincere with you. This gentleman here, I just contacted him. He invited me to a program. We have been on discussion for a while, and he said, "Oh, Dr. Adewale, hope you'll be available." So I said, "Yes, that's fine. Can we do this together?" And I was like, "Fine. I think all these things you said we are going to do together, I want you to come and share this experience with my colleagues here. They are all mathematicians, and they are nation builders. They are the teachers of teachers. These are the people that are building the brain behind some of those innovations we are looking forward to see in future in the country." So in the studio with me this evening, or let me say on the call with us this evening, we have Dr. Amos Tafa. All right. Amos Tafa is a STEM pioneer, a leader, humanitarian, entrepreneur. He has been working on introducing the world to the next level, excuse me, in science and mathematics education, using history and philosophies of science along with application from various fields of STEM. Amos has a bachelor in chemistry with minor in philosophy, a master's degree in medical physics, a second master's degree in medical health physics. He has gone ahead to complete a year of his PhD program in chemistry and STEM education. Amos, the math guru, the math guy, that's what he's known as. He's widely known as a developed signation framework for teaching called counting to calculus. You can imagine someone develop a signation frame for teaching called counting to calculus. It is a curriculum frame which can guide every student from basic maths all the way to advanced mathematics, calculus 1, 2, 3, and more. Of course, you know, when we talk about that course, calculus, you know what it means. So chemistry, physics, engineering, and computer science. After completing Amos' revolutionizing STEM program and taking the appropriate CLIPS test, the students will have access to more than 30 transferable college credits while still in high school. That can only happen to someone who knows to an humanitarian. Amos, the math guy, started Learning Institute for Excellence. Learning Institute for Excellence is called LIVE in 2013, meaning he's the founder of Learning Institute for Excellence, which provide academic tutoring and coaching in multiple subjects like SAT, arts, and education consulting to school. He's now in Texas, like I said, with his wife, Stephen, and their 7 children. He works as a diagnostic and a nuclear medicine physicist in East Texas. He teaches mathematics at Lieutenant University in Longview, Texas. Ladies and gentlemen, join me to welcome Amos Tafa in the studio Deep to Discipline.
Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, clearly, sir.
Okay, perfect. We thank God. Sorry, I don't have my suit. I was actually traveling in between, so I apologize. I'm in the city of Austin, Texas, which is the capital of Texas. So my goal for my students in Nigeria, as I work with students, is I want to see opportunities for them to come to school here. And so if they want to study in STEM fields, I want to be a resource for them as well. Thank you so much for the opportunity, Dr. Kayode Adewale. It has been a wonderful thing to see what has been happening in Ogun State and what you have been doing. And I'm excited to join you in equipping teachers in Ogun State and around Nigeria and Africa and beyond with the tools to raise excellent math students. Thank you for the topic you have given me today. I'm going to be, can I just put my PowerPoint on the screen? Is that okay?
Yes, go ahead, sir. Go ahead,
okay,
sir.
So let me just share my screen and then we'll just go over some of the slides and so everybody can see it at the same time. So I'm just pulling it up now. You see my screen. Let's see. Or I'll just share the PowerPoint right here. Share. Apologies for the delay. It should be ready in 1 second here. Let's see. Okay, thank you so much. Let's see. Apologies. Let's see. I just hit share and it brought me back. Let me try. Okay, so here we go. Okay, perfect. So the topic today for my presentation is AI and independent learning. Thank you again for the introduction. So let's start with the first question, why this matters. So basically, we understand that many students around the world struggle with mathematics. As a matter of fact, some statistics will show that up to 90% of students worldwide either struggle with math or they are anxious about it. They are not enjoying mathematics like they should. And so we're going to talk about how the hubs that Dr. Kayode is working on and the programs that can be started in the Transformation 2060 can help more students to love mathematics, because I believe that mathematics is beautiful and it's actually one of the simplest subjects if you understand how it works. So AI and STEM integration can provide a scalable and personalized learning, therefore giving us independent learners that can thrive in the AI age. So one of the books that I'm writing that will be coming out this year, God willing, is called STEM Excellence, from the scientific revolution to the AI revolution. That's the subtitle of the book. And in the book, I'm talking about the fact that from the 1520s, so 1524 to 2024, 500 years of math and science history. That's what I'll be discussing in my book, which will come out in about 2 months. Once that book comes out, Dr. Kayode, I would love to donate 100 copies to your program, and you can feel free to distribute it to those that would like to use it. And so that program is basically going to tell the history of mathematics and give us the tools to help our students become independent learners and to thrive. So how do we help to get independent? What is independent learning first? Well, independent learners can be people that learn at their own pace. They can solve some problems without direct instruction. They can set and pursue learning goals. They can use resources and AI tools smartly, and they can collaborate when needed. So independence empowers, but it doesn't exclude collaboration, because in the AI age, collaboration is very important. So just because somebody's an independent learner doesn't mean they cannot collaborate with others. As a matter of fact, some of the best mathematicians in history, they collaborated with other people. Now, I don't know if the teachers on this call have studied the life of Leonhard Euler, but Euler, spelled with the letter E-U-L-E-R, Euler, some people call him Euler. He's considered to be one of the best mathematicians in the history of math and science. And he lived from 1707 to 1783. One of his classmates, the name of that classmate was Bernoulli. Daniel Bernoulli is the one that came up with the Bernoulli's principle, which explains how airplanes fly. See, those two were very good friends because Bernoulli's father was the teacher that taught Euler and Bernoulli, the son. So notice that from that history, you are now beginning to see how the collaboration helped. Those kinds of stories, I hope, will help our students learn the importance of collaboration. But at the same time, both Euler and Bernoulli were also diligent students and independent learners at the same time. Vision. Why combine artificial intelligence with independent learning? Well, AI, one of the beautiful things, and I know you already had a presentation on AI from an expert from AI, but one of the things I see as a math educator is that AI will accelerate math learning for everybody if they know how to use it. So for example, last weekend, I gave AI an assignment. I told it to take a series of topics from counting to calculus 5 and create a website with PDFs that have examples and practice problems for every concept that is taught from primary 1 to SS3, from America to Japan to Singapore, all the countries of the world. I've had AI do different projects for me on this. So the AI now compiled all of it. It now made a website for me. And maybe at the end, I can share that with you to see what this looks like. But it's really amazing what AI can do as a tool. So if people have AI and they know what they need to learn, then they can move at their own pace. And so we want more and more people to learn how to prompt the AI to teach them or to give them examples. Okay, so together, I think that a learner who knows what to do and how to get help anytime can make great progress. What are 3 ways that AI can support independent math mastery? Number 1, diagnostic tools. When somebody goes to a hospital, they try to find out, they take their height, sometimes they take an x-ray. They're trying to diagnose what the problem is so that they can give very good solution to their problem. So AI can help with diagnostics. And we are building an AI assessment tool right now that will be coming out later this year as well, God willing. And so students will be able to take a diagnostic that tells them all the areas that they are weak so that they can become strong in those areas. Once we know where the students are weak, we then use personalized learning paths to show them the path from counting to calculus and beyond. My hope is that every child in Nigeria will have a database of all the concepts of everything from primary 1 to SS3 at their fingertips anytime they need it, so they can go back and forth and understand, if they have forgotten their certain principles like Pythagoras theorem, and they need to go back. It's like we give them all of the new general maths, all of the understanding maths, all of those are now put into AI so that it can easily navigate them to where they need to go. And number 3, real-time feedback. Students will be able to receive real-time feedback, which can encourage mastery. Because if you know where you are failing in the concept, you can then improve by taking that real-time feedback. So what are some practical tools for teachers? So the counting to calculus AI pilot is coming soon. As I said, we're going to have a pilot phase, and we are looking forward to maybe collaborating with some of your hubs to try this application. So if there's any teachers interested in helping us to give students some of these diagnostics, there'll be a web application, and eventually there'll be an app on a phone and tablet. There's Khan Academy's AI. They have a plan as well. There's Socratic. There's different tools. Of course, ChatGPT can help with lesson planning and explanations. So teachers can ask ChatGPT, tell me 5 examples that can help explain this better to my students. And ChatGPT can give you those tools. So there are definitely a lot of practical tools for AI. And I'm available to help any teacher with any of those, navigating any of these tools as well. What is the Nigerian? So now I want to talk briefly about this Nigerian School of Mathematics that is actually based in the US, in Texas. So the Nigerian School of Mathematics is basically a vision to implement the counting to calculus framework that I've discussed. It will teach students basic arithmetic like counting all the way to calculus 1, 2, 3, and linear algebra and differential equations. Every student has access to these. We're going to do some STEM tournaments, AI-assisted mentorship and self-paced mastery. And it's based in Houston, Texas, but we're going to have events in Abuja, Lagos, and Jos, and hopefully in Ogun State one day. But the main headquarters is in the US. The reason why we started this program is because there are many students in America that are longing for the Nigerian curriculum. They want new general maths for their children because it's more rigorous. They want the rigor and they're not getting enough of it. So the Nigerian School of Mathematics based in the US is trying to solve that problem by providing teachers in Nigeria with the opportunity of earning some extra income by teaching for our students teaching our students in America. So basically from the comfort of your home, you can teach for our students, you can help our students in America because you have access to a rigorous curriculum. America needs more rigorous curriculum, and that's what the Nigerian School of Maths is about. So if you have any interest in the counting to calculus or the counting to calculus AI pilot or the Nigerian School of Mathematics, I'm more than willing to talk with you at a different time, except you bring it up in question and answer. I'm more than willing to answer too. So inside a STEM and a math resource hub. So imagine that we can collaborate with the efforts of Transformation 2060, connecting the resources here with the needs in Nigeria. What we can do is hopefully try and find some very good used laptops that are not being used because they've simply been, the person has upgraded. So I'm working on a plan that can allow for some of that transition, because in the STEM hub, we want all students to have laptops and tablets that have AI tutoring tools that they can refer to. We also want them to have access to our workbooks. So I've written a series of workbooks. There's 16 of them in the series right now. And these workbooks follow series of textbooks that students can use to master concepts. So workbooks can also be a good tool in the hub. And this is just a recommendation. We can have some peer coaching area where a more advanced instructor can help. And that instructor will have access to AI tools as well. We can have math journals and problem-solving boards, chess boards, and then eventually we can even have some robotics and applications of mathematics in real time. So Ogun State teachers, what Ogun State teachers can start doing. I know you're already doing a lot, but let me just provide some support and encouragement. I think that using AI tools, of course, require cloud materials and internet. And so again, I'm really looking forward to talking more with Dr. Kayode to see how we can work together to get more support so that your AI tools can work to help your students in your resource hubs. We have some connections to a company that does fiber optic and cloud computing work, and I would love to put you in touch with them to see how it can help power the internet for some of your research hubs. I also want to look at assigning independent work. So I would love to see if the Ogun State teachers want any more training with anything related to AI so that you are doing all the training that people get in America. We want to give you all of that as well. And I will be coordinating with Dr. Kayode to see how I can help with that. I would love to help in any way if you need some math history materials to give your students inspiration, because students today, a lot of them need to be inspired to do, to thrive and to flourish in the AI age. Number 4, I would love to create mini math clinics inside each school or help with that process. And I know you're already doing that, but if there's any way we can bring in the inspiration aspect that we talk about using math history, we would love to do that. So we teach the history of math from the early times, from the times of the Egyptians building the pyramids to the present. We talk about people like Isaac Newton and James Clerk Maxwell and Albert Einstein and all these people that did work in math and physics in our curriculum. And then we want to encourage students to take good notes with math journaling. So we want to see, is there ways that the Ogun State teachers can provide support for whether it's peer teaching or teaching their students how to journal better so that they can now learn how to refer back to those notes. Those are things that we provide support for to different schools. Okay, so in conclusion, as we wrap up, we need to help students to learn to think for themselves. We need to make sure that students learn that collaboration is important, that it builds deeper understanding. And then we need to combine it with self-paced learning, group projects, competitions, and peer problem-solving circles. One of the things that I think is important is that imagine you have a student that has never been good at maths, but now they start coming to your hub and they start changing their attitude to mathematics and they start becoming very good at maths. That's one of the things that I would love to see for the students in Ogun State and all across Nigeria and Africa. My heart and desire in the next few years, God willing, is to see millions of children get quality education in mathematics and science and beyond. And I believe that Ogun State and this initiative can be a very key driver in this effort. Vision 2060. I think that we're living in a very interesting time because I believe that Nigeria can take first in this race. It's like a relay. You know, when you run a relay, you have 4 laps. When you now give that baton to the last person, that person can just run fast and finish. I think Nigeria can become one of the global competitive, one of the most advanced countries when it comes to math and science education. And we can work on that as we keep building hubs like Transformation 2060 is aiming to do. We want to help students to master math, complex math independently, to use AI wisely, and then to build and lead in the new digital economy. The wonderful thing again is that this is a new chance for every country to put forth its best effort. And I hope that Nigeria can do that in this new era. Let's help our students to become students who are leading at the forefront of math and science education in the world. So final call to action. I would love to equip every school with a STEM resource hub. Of course, we would love to start and supporting in any way we can the research hub or the resource hub that Dr. Kayode is working with Transformation 2060. We would love to train teachers to become learning coaches, providing them with tools to teach even during the holidays. We would love to use tools like the Nigerian School of Mathematics and the Counting to Calculus to guide student growth. You can think of the Counting to Calculus like the extra food. After somebody has had pounded yam and okra soup, we are now giving them another dose of chin-chin or meat pie. That's what Counting to Calculus can be for the Nigerian students. We will definitely love to talk more with teachers over time to see those that are interested in any initiatives to support students in Ogun State and potentially and beyond. I would love to raise 1 billion STEM-powered math fluent students by 2030. But I'm going to start with the first steps by partnering with people like Dr. Kayode in the project in Transformation 2060. Thank you so much for your time. I'm going to now pause and take questions. Here's my contact, amos@learningforexcellence.com. That's my contact information. And I would love to connect with anyone if you have any questions. And thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much, my colleagues, dear colleagues. Join me to appreciate the wonderful, the math guy, Amos, the math guy. Yes, Amos, the math guy. I don't want you to say anything. Don't use emoji. Just say Amos, the math guy to appreciate it. Just type in the chat, Amos, the math guy. And truly, Amos is the math guy. And we really want to appreciate you. On behalf of all the mathematics teachers in the state, we really want to appreciate you firstly for honoring our invitation, and secondly for taking out of your schedule, your tight schedule, to talk to us this evening. Amos, the math guy, really appreciate you, and we are hoping to see you during our in-person training, which is coming up soon. The date, we communicate the date once it is fixed. We definitely love to see you once again during the in-person training, talking to us. I'm sure you'll soon be in the country, and I'm sure my colleagues who can, who have interest, as I've promised, I have many of us that are, that always want to tap into new things, especially when we have innovation that can cause improvement in the subject mathematics. This is a universal language, like I said, but as old as this subject is, other subjects that are even coming behind, they have gotten their own places, in all our schools and every other thing. And we think, as a math teacher who has also been enjoying the grace of teaching the subject, there is need for us to do something. And that is why we come up with the ideas of mathematics clinic. That is a designated place in all our schools where students can run to get help from an expert who are mathematicians. And that is why we are doing this. And thank God for people like yourself who already have a lot of initiatives that I'm sure it will definitely complement all our mathematics clinic arrangement. We are looking forward to work with you, as you have said. We're glad to see a lot of your touches in the state. Ogun State, we prioritize ourselves as the education capital of Federal Republic of Nigeria. And that is why when anything comes, yes, we always love to be the lead because we are truly the gateway. So and that's why we are doing this. We want to try to tell the whole world that yes, there is need for this mathematics training, and I think it's starting in the state. And I'm very sure very soon it will spring across all the 26 states we have in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And with people like you and other people, yesterday we had Rion Spen from Ohio joining us. On Saturday we have what is it called? Amanda joining us from Kent State University, and the light of other people is also joining us across the globe. So we also believe bringing all this international experience and other things into Nigerian classroom, we definitely see the transformation we need in Nigerian classroom. And this can also give us that confidence that truly Nigeria, we are the giant of Africa in all things. So thank you very much once again, and thanks for all you in the education space. So my colleagues, just join me. We have others that are joining us on YouTube as well. As I've just, I've dropped the YouTube link with you because as we are talking to you now, the selected teachers are here in the Zoom. Then we have other teachers, the Honorable Commissioner, who is also a mathematician. He's a professor of science and technology and mathematics from South Africa. That's South Africa. So he's the former Vice Chancellor of the Premier University of Education in Nigeria, the first in the Federal Republic of Nigeria, second in Africa, and 8th in the world. He's the former Vice Chancellor. Unfortunately, we have him as the Honorable Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology in the state. He's also with us, and we'll also be glad to meet you during the in-person training, even if it is virtually, so that we can get ourselves familiar with all these initiatives we have for mathematics students in the country. Of course, we have been getting a lot of students who has been taking a lot of lead. We have people like Faith Odusi, who is from Ogun State, who has won a lot of laurels in the areas of mathematics, presently in US. So we still want more of them. And I think our collaboration with all my colleagues here, that we have planned to go on revolutionizing the teaching of mathematics in the country, definitely have many more of Faith Odusi and many more Amos the math guy. So once again, we really appreciate you for joining us this evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much,
colleagues. Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead, sir.
I was just going to say my email is actually amosthemathguy@gmail.com. So amosthemathguy@gmail.com in case there's any questions there. And then the website is countingtocalculus.org in case people want to look at that. So I can email it to you, sir, and you can feel free to share it, please. So
yes, please. Yes, we have shared your email. You can also share other interesting websites, your website and every other things with me. I will definitely share this with my colleagues here. Like I told you during our conversation, I said I'm just a product of grace. That's what I do tell my colleagues. When I joined the teaching profession, I chose to become a teacher. I didn't join the teaching profession just like as a piece of looking for a job here and there. I choose to become a teacher, and then I have what we call career objective, which is to contribute and be at the forefront of transforming education in Nigeria. I can't do this alone. I can only do this with like-minded people, and that is why we are coming up with different projects that can make Nigerian education to get to the position that it ought to be. That transformation we need in Nigerian classrooms can only happen, with like-minded teachers that we have on the platform. Look at our time now. This is almost 9:30 p.m. Nigerian time. Many Nigerian teachers or many teachers will tell you they don't have time for this kind of thing. They are using this period to be resting, doing some other things that are precious to them. But these, my colleagues, see this as an opportunity to learn just because they want the learning outcome of the students in Nigerian class to be good. And I also want you to appreciate them for staying with us here. We promised for 2 days. We have been on this since Monday, and I really want to appreciate them for this for us.
Thank you so much, teachers, for taking the time, sir. Sorry, sir, I just wanted to say thank you to all your teachers. I really am grateful that they are here with us late in the evening. And my name, first name and last name, you can find me on LinkedIn as well, and you'll see some of the work. Feel free to reach out that way. But thank you so much, sir, and thank you to all the teachers. And thanks for all you are doing for the students. God bless you.
Yes, sir. So you can share all your social handle with me. I will definitely put it on the WhatsApp so that our teacher can also follow and then have an interaction with you. Like I do say, thank you very much. So, dear colleagues, we still have more speaker. That is one of the young mathematicians in the country who is doing wonderfully well, and I'm sure is in the group with us. Can we look for Arigbab? Okay. Is Arigbab with us? Please, if you are with us. Okay, all right.
Yes,
so this evening we'll be having that young mathematician, a musician who has now turned to what is it? Can I call him? He developed what we call musicotherapy to improve the student learning outcome in mathematics. And of course, I'm happy to tell you, he's the son of the mathematician. That's one of the proudest sons of the Honorable Commissioner for Education, Dr. Abimbola Arigbab. We are glad to have also here. He's a mathematics lecturer at Olabisi Onabanjo University, who's PhD in mathematics education. So, ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues, join me to welcome Dr. Abimbola Arigbab as he just do that demonstration for us on the psychotherapies and how to improve student learning outcome. Over to you, Doctor.
Yeah, thank you, sir, Dr. Adewale. It's a privilege to be here. I'm so grateful for this wonderful opportunity. And I want to quickly make a correction. It is not musical therapy, it is musical mathematics therapy. That is music infused with mathematics teaching. That is music integrated mathematics instruction. Okay. So permit me to share my screen, if I may. Okay, let's just run through the slides from the beginning.
Yes, go ahead, you can share.
All right. Okay, so what if solving math problems was as fun as singing a song? Students remember mathematics lyrics word for word, but what if they can do the same with mathematics concepts? What if we have a playlist where we can play mathematics music for pupils, for them to engage with within the class and even after the class? I mean, these are questions I continue to ask myself as a mathematics educator and a musician. So my name is Arigbab Abimbola, and I'm here to talk on the using of music integrated mathematics instruction to enhance pupils' learning outcomes in mathematics. During my PhD project, I called this the effect of musical mathematics therapy, which was what Dr. Adewale was actually referring to. So now I'm using music integrated mathematics instruction. So we are trying to unlock the power of reading in mathematics classroom. That's the whole concept. What is music integrated mathematics instruction? So music integrated mathematics instruction is a teaching approach that blends the musical elements such as rhythm, melody, lyrics, sound patterns into the teaching and learning of mathematical concepts. It is the use of music-based activities and strategies to teach mathematics concepts. This pedagogy combines musical activity and mathematics learning outcomes. But then this method uses math songs, clapping, musical instruments, instrumentals, chants, musical games to help students understand mathematics better, improve their memory and retention, improve mathematics achievement and engagement, and also reduce anxiety and fear towards mathematics. But before we move on, I would like us to just identify very few similarities between mathematics and music. So in terms of rhythm and time signature, for some of us that are familiar with music theory, in terms of rhythm and time signature, music is equivalent to fraction and patterns in mathematics form. Musical rhythms like the 4x4 beat, the 3x4 beat, 4x4 time, the 3x4 time reflects fractions and ratios. And this can be used to teach mathematical concepts in the class. Notes have duration like whole note, half note, quarter note, whole beat, half beat, quarter beat, and so on.
Sorry, sir. Doctor, sorry, sir. Mr. Alabi, please help us to put all these people, please.
Okay, can I continue?
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Okay, so notes have duration like whole note, half note, quarter note, just like the diagram we are seeing here. And this also reflects fraction. Okay, yeah, so Dr. Adewale, you muted me, but it's fine. But so like I was saying, okay, so we are here. Okay, I said notes have duration like whole, half, quarter note, and eighth note, 16th note, which can also be used to explain fractions and patterns, fraction and ratios, rather. Then repeating patterns in music, circle of fifth. And for those of us that are familiar with music, we actually know what I'm talking about. So I want to just pick out one example, one similarities out of the all similarity that we have between mathematics and music in terms of timing, pattern, what's it called? Sequence, interval, and so on. So let's talk about pitch, frequency, and ratio. What is the relationship between these three? Pitch in musical term, but frequency and ratio in mathematics term. So pitch in music is equal to frequency and ratio in mathematics. And one thing that I want to talk about is, let's say you want to purchase a keyboard. So you go to the seller and tell the seller that you want to purchase a keyboard. Then the seller will ask you one question, which is how many octaves? Then you have to answer probably 2 octaves, 3 octaves, 4 or 5 or 20 octaves. So here on the keyboard that we are seeing here, we can see white notes, white keys and black keys. And on the white keys, we can see set of alphabets. And that's another relationship with mathematics, but I'm not going to go there. Mathematics can actually be, music can actually be used to teach set theory. So we have this set of alphabets, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. There is no H, there is no I, there is no J in music. So once it gets to B, we go back to C. So why am I saying all this? I'm trying to explain octave. So the first C that we have here is the first octave. So when we count the white keys to the second C, we move to the second octave. Then when we count from the second one to the third one, we move to the third octave. So musical notes have specific frequencies in mathematical terms. The relationship between notes is based on mathematical ratios. So why I explain the octave is because of my example over here. An example is an octave is a 2:1 frequency. And what does this mean? I'm going to use C4. And what do I mean by C4? Here, we can name this, the first C that we have over here, we can call it C1. Then the next key is D, which is D1, E1, F1 to C2. But I want to use C4. So let's say the C we have here, C4. So we are going to have C4, D4, E4, F to C5. So now I want to pick out A, which is very, very familiar to most musicians. And the frequency of key A4 is 440 Hz. So that means the next octave is going to be A5, which is going to be A4 times 2. That is 880 Hz. So how do we explain this in terms of ratio? So if we have A5, which is 880, all over A4, which is 440, that is 2 all over 1. And that is what? 2:1. So we can actually use music to explain mathematical concepts in several ways. And great mathematicians like Plato, great mathematicians like Pythagoras on the tuning of music and on the Mozart effect, philosophers like Plato and so on, have all pointed out the relationship between mathematics and music. And Gardner, for example, in his study, he suggested that there are 8 bits of human intelligence, in which the musical intelligence is the ability to express, transform, discriminate musical forms. So Gardner implies that students learn best through music. One of the theories is the Mozart effect theory, which says that listening to classical music can temporarily enhance the cognitive functions, especially in a spatial temporal reasoning. And another theory that we have is the dual coding theory by Alan Paivio, which says that people learn better when information is presented both verbally and non-verbally. Example is audio and visual. So that is, you can actually have a mathematics music with mathematics lyrics playing on a screen, then the normal traditional way of teaching. We can combine both together for the dual coding. Another one is the cognitive load theory by John Swaler. Then the constructivist learning theory, which says that learners build knowledge through active engagement and social interaction, which can be achieved in a class where music integrated mathematics is active. And I want to point out one example, which is the what Mr. Abdatif actually explained to us on flipped classroom. We can actually, and he said, flipped classroom, you can create content for students, then they can engage with the content on their own. Then when they come back, you can test them based on the content and see how that goes. This can be done with music mathematics instructions too. So that means we can actually create music-based content, music mathematics content for students to engage with on their own. So they are going to learn at their own pace. And when they come back to the classroom, we can test them based on this content. But why are we doing all this? Why are we talking about music integrated mathematics? Why are we going about all these things that I've been saying? Many pupils find mathematics intimidating because it is abstract in nature. Then lack of engagement will actually lead to poor performance and also mathematics anxiety. And over the years, so many research studies have pointed out the poor performance of students in mathematics across all levels due to their inability to comprehend mathematical facts. And this has led to the trial and implementation of so many strategies that may enhance the achievement of students in mathematics. And one of these strategies is the integration of art into mathematics instruction. And music being a subset of art now, the integration of music into mathematics instruction to help students understand lessons better, to help them apply their skill thoughts, the skill thoughts, and to help them improve their overall learning outcomes. So what are the benefits of music infused mathematics concept? Students who might not resonate with abstract numbers will be able to relate with mathematics concept better through reading, melody, and pattern. When we have a music, probably for motivation, when you enter the classroom, you have a music infused with mathematics instruction for students to engage with before starting the class. Then you can do that first, then later you continue with the traditional lecture method, or even teach with the music throughout, which is what I actually did during my PhD project. I actually taught with music all through. no traditional lecture method. Then music will chunk and encode mathematical concepts like formulas or patterns in more memorable format, reducing working memory load and aiding long-term retention. Let's take the quadratic formula, for example, minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. This can be converted to musical form. And through this, students will be able to memorize this formula on time. And they can apply it anytime it is needed because it is music, it is inside their head. So music can relax students, make math class more enjoyable, reduce mathematics anxiety, and even change their perception towards mathematics generally. Because of our time, I've not been able to go in depth to so many aspects, but I've been able to streamline everything. And some of the tips for integrating music mathematics instruction in the class that I have for teachers is, at first, you can start with a simple song and a reading. What I actually did during my PhD project was that I had a theme song. That's what I called it, a theme song. So that theme song, for every class, we have to first sing that theme song before starting the mathematics class, the session. Why am I doing this? Why was I doing this rather? Because I want the student to be engaged as soon as the lesson starts. And this actually worked perfectly. So normal mathematics class, you see everybody with their biro and their notes, writing and whatever, and probably some will be sleeping. But now, when the music is playing in the background, at first you cannot sleep. That one is cancelled. So secondly, you are going to eventually dance because that is the purpose of music. So the music is danceable, and it is infused with math instruction. So the students are dancing and they are learning mathematics at the same time. That is the purpose of this pedagogy. Then use call and response or group chant as well to carry them along. Then integrate body movement to reinforce patterns. Encourage students to create their own math song. And I actually did this also. There was a boy, he was a rapper. He volunteered to rap for us. Because when I got to the class, I told someone to, I asked for the musicians and he volunteered. So when this boy was rapping, he started rapping about drugs and women. And this is a primary 5 class. But if this type of boy can be taught on how to use the music integrated mathematics instruction or music integrated with STEM concepts, he may not want to be a mathematician, probably into another field. So instead of making those type of music, he can start to make educative or educational music. So I don't know if we can all hear my. Okay, this is a song. Can everybody hear my audio? This is a song of fraction, which I used during my PhD project. I don't know if you can hear Mr. Wale and Mr. Adewa and Dr. Adewale, sorry. Can you hear this music that I'm playing?
Not really. Can you sing it for us? Can hear? It's possible.
Okay. So what I actually said, what I was actually saying in the music is when you add, you put together. When you add, you put together. You put together. When you subtract, you take away. You take away. See, when you add, you put together. You put together. When you subtract, you take away. You take away. 1 + 1 is equal to 2. Is equal to 2. 2 + 2 is equal to 4. Ajé Ọlọ́run mi ò fọ́. And if you get 2 - 2, you get nothing. You get 0. Yeah, I can't even remember my own things again, but that's just how it is. Then I moved on to fractions. We'll be dealing with fractions. Then I talked about the concept of fractions, the numerator, the denominator, and how you can add fractions and all. So if you actually need this music, you can request for it personally, and I will send it to you. So instead of me performing for free here, because you are meant to pay for this performance. So thank you all for listening. It's been wonderful. I really appreciate. Thank you, Dr. Adewale, for this opportunity. I really appreciate, and I have not taken anything for granted. Thank you so much.
Wow, thank you very much, Dr. Abimbola Arigba. I hope, okay, you said we need to pay for this music. Probably maybe you permit my colleagues here. You lead us, then we sing along with you. On the day of the virtual inauguration, the state chairperson of the Mathematical Association of Nigeria, Mrs. Babisola Orekoya, actually taught us how to recite the mathematics psalm, and we all recited after her. So maybe today, to lead the music, let's sing along with you. Probably we too can sing it for our students when we get to the class. You can lead. So please let everyone, you can unmute your mic and sing along with Doctor. So Doctor, lead us.
You are trying to scam me, but it's okay. So I said,
okay.
When you are due put together.
You put together.
When you are due put together.
When you are due put together.
When you subtract, you take away.
When you subtract,
you take away.
When you subtract, you take away.
You know what? What I'm going to do is that I'm going to send this music to Dr. Adewale so he can share, because the network is merging everything together.
When you subtract, you take away.
Okay, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr.
Thank you so much.
Abibola
Thank you, sir.
I hope you have tried to correct me. Is it okay? Is psychotherapist? Is it psychotherapist or what do you call it?
No.
Musical
mathematics therapy.
Okay, musical mathematics therapy. So of course, my colleagues, I know you already know one of the therapies. You already know one of the therapies you give to your students at the mathematics clinic now. And one of it is the physical math therapy. Yes, when they come like that, yes. I was wondering, my first time in the studio of one of the math lab inquiries, I was like listening to this. What's the video of this? What we know in Nigeria is that when you get to library, everywhere must be silent. You must not hear any sound. They were like, no, here, sometimes when you are tired, you do this, music makes you to come back alive. And I was like, wow. So that means sometimes in your math clinic too, some students may need physical mathematics therapy sometimes. So you just ask them to sit there, just like what the state chairperson gave us, what is it called? The SAM. And I remember there was a time too, I think I composed something when I started teaching of them. Maybe if I look at my library, I will still find the document where I define the piece of mathematics, MPs, APs. So you can also come up with something innovative that can also make your students, it's just like when I started teaching mathematics in Ijebu, people were like, what is this one saying? And by God's grace, the little things we are doing with mathematics in Ijebu has been showcased by BBC, has been showcased by channels, showcased by NTA, and many other international organizations. So you can start doing something just like Dr. Abibola have done, mathematics therapy, and of course it's trending now. So you look at your own areas of interest or where you think is your strength and start doing something on it. And with this, you may eventually become the next person that will cling to the level, becoming one of the global teachers or becoming people like.
Networking now.
That you put together.
Yeah, you can request for the song.
We need it.
Okay, no problem. I'm going to make it available.
We need it. When you add people together, when you subtract it away.
Let's wait for Dr. Adewale to come back on. It's because Nigeria is still developing. In most foreign countries, there is a music therapy. It's actually a thing.
Yes, can you hear me now?
Okay, it's back.
Oh, so sorry. I guess that is network. So that's awesome. Join me to appreciate Dr. Abibola Arigbabu for that wonderful presentation. We really appreciate you, and we didn't take your time granted. We hope when we are looking forward. Yes, we are looking forward to see you in person during our in-person training at Abeokuta, where you will come along with all your your musical instrument and sing that when you are doing together.
All right, no problem.
You take me. You take
No
me.
problem.
1 plus 1 is equal to 2. Is equal to 2. 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. It's equal to 4. I think with my little time with him, because fortunately for me, I happened to be one of his research assistants when he was carrying out the study. And I was looking at it, and look at this. Yes, look at this. This innovation this man is bringing into the teaching of mathematics. This is novel. And I think today the whole world is celebrating what we are doing. And we are still looking forward to see and hear more about the work the Lord has been saying. And we pray for more strength for you from above. So my colleagues, these are some of those things we can do. And I'm sure with all the facilitators we have brought in here for us and for those people that have been joined, see the possibility of having mathematics clinic in all our schools is possible. We have heard from people from US, from Uruguay, from every other part of the countries that have shared their experience on how mathematics clinic can work in all our classrooms. And I think with a few people's dedicated teachers that are here, this is possible in the state classroom. Of course, don't forget, we had the education capitals of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and we are truly the gateway that other people were looking at. So once we do this, we definitely see ourselves over there. So let's check the chart for the link to the attendance. As we have said, if it is only 5 people that have been joining us that have a good record on the attendance, those are the 5 people that will join us for the in-person training. And by God's grace, thank God, apology to those people that did not understand Yoruba. Yoruba sọ pé màálù tó jọké ìdùnnú alápatà which we thought 60 teacher. But unfortunately, those teachers that have been joining us since the beginning of the program, you are not up to 30. So meaning those people that have been attending the program consistently will be those people that will join us. So by God's grace, on Tuesday, we'll be having our first set of tests, and it's going to be comprised of all the programs we have been doing here. Yes, on Tuesday, we have our first test. So we have lecture with test. Wednesday, we have lecture with test. And by God's grace, Friday, the list for those that will join us for the in-person training will be out. The date has already been fixed, but we are trying to communicate with the Honorable Commissioner so that he will be the one to do the official declaration of the dates. It won't be as if you'll be hearing the date outside. So the date have already been fixed. In the next 2 or 3 weeks, gather ourselves together at Abeokuta or Olusegun Obasanjo Presidential Library for the in-person training. And I'm sure my colleagues here will be glad to join us together at that particular training. So test on Tuesday, exam on Wednesday. Prepare very well.
Women's pass. So
all of us must pass. And
we must
pass.
AOC,
what's it called?
AOC,
Mr. Alabi,
area of concentration.
Mr. Alabi, please help us to put it on the platform. Tuesday, test. Wednesday will be exam. Yes, it's going to be CBT. Of course, it will be computer-based test. It will be computer-based test. And on Thursday, we have our presentation. Don't forget, one of the tasks is that look for your best topic in mathematics and create a video on it. It is still on the, so that's the first thing. Look for your best topic in mathematics. Create a quality videos on it. I will drop the video of what is it called? Mr. Isa, what is it called? Class on how to edit video, so that you have a good video and you are to submit the video. You are not to submit online. Just push it on your Facebook page, push it on your LinkedIn page, push it on your X page. Ash Transformation 2060. That's what we gather all the video together. And there is a good package for whosoever that gets the highest. Of course, let me just show us some of those things that we have already have as a package for us. We have got all the materials. What is it called? Should I say shipping? These are the material for the top 5 candidate that they will be using in their mathematics clinic. So these are the materials that we're using. Then we got our first already. Maybe I should just try to share the sample of the first with us, the sample of the t-shirt with us, and I'm sure definitely love it. So for those that make it up to Abeokuta, so I don't know how I'm going to do it now. Maybe I should put it. Don't mind me. I like doing shakara. So I like doing shakara. So I'll just show us the front and the back of the t-shirt. So
some of family enjoying. Everybody go on. Come on. Our assistant on pé ó dà pé gbogbo atán rí tó tásì gan.
Pé wọ́n pé 30 o. So this is the front of the t-shirt, Transformation 2060 with the logo of the transformation. Then this is the back of the t-shirts. One clinic per school. Can we see that? One clinic per school. And these are all the materials. So we hope to see. We pray all of us pass. If all of us pass, welcome.
Amen.
So, but one thing I want to assure you is that if you have been attending the class since the beginnings of the class, you definitely pass, because the question will only be based on what our facilitator here. They are the one that set all the questions. So the questions are from them. So if you have been attending the class, this is not a matter of, oh, let me go and try my luck. This is not a matter of let me go and try my luck. So with that, we have come to the end of this week presentation. So see you again on Tuesday, 8 p.m. when we'll be having our tests. Before the test, I wanted to make some presentation with us on that. If time permits us, if it is just 30 minutes, I'll just take 30 minutes to do that. If otherwise, we'll take our test on Tuesday, examination on Wednesday, then we'll be looking forward to see our presentation. Hello. So our presentation also will come up on the, yes, our presentation will be coming up on Thursday. Then there is announcement of the result come out. You don't need to gather for that. So announcement will come out on Friday for those that qualified to come to Abeokuta. So once again, thank you very much. Yes, someone is talking. What about the Canva, CapCut? We'll definitely do that. I've told you, the exam and test. Yes, because those are those things that we use in our mathematics clinic.
Okay.
Those are those things we use in our mathematics clinic, because without all this, you cannot apply all the knowledge you have gained here. It's already 10 p.m. and I want to appreciate every one of us for joining us this hour. Let's put on our camera. If you know your location is not good now, don't show us what we are not supposed to see. So you can put on your camera so that we take a good picture. Then we call it a day. If you know your location is not okay, don't show us. So
Really bad now, eh?
okay, let's take one more. Let's take one more.
This one.
Yes, for you to know that people that are joining us, there are even times 10 of us here. On the day of inauguration alone, we have over 500 people joining us on the day of inauguration alone. And for some of our classes, yes, for some of our classes, on a minimum, we always have 100 joining us every day. So, but we have know how to track the selected participant. But I'm trying to tell you that the selected participants have never been more than 20-25 since we started the program. So once again, I want to appreciate all of you. And I want to appreciate all our facilitators for today.
Doctor, I think
Great
you have a
mentor,
question in the comment section.
Mr. Amos Tafa, then our wonderful Dr. Abibola Ariba, mathematics therapist. God bless all of you. So see you again on Tuesday.
Thank you.
How many minutes? Our recording. How many minutes?
Yes, the recording is live on YouTube. The recording is live on YouTube. I will share the link immediately I leave this place. You get the recording of today's class.
No, doctor, they are talking about the video.
Like how many minutes?
Oh, your video is minimum of 1 minute, maximum of 2 minutes. Minimum of 1 minute, maximum of 2 minutes. Then there is a big mark for anybody that can use language to teach mathematics. Your own mark is separate. If you can teach mathematics in Egba, your own mark is separate. If you can teach mathematics in Remo, your own mark is. If you can teach mathematics in Yewa, your own mark is separate. If you can teach mathematics in Igbo or in Hausa, your own mark is separate.
Anyway.
Yes. Or if you decide to teach mathematics in Ijebu,
So much in Spanish.
All right, sir. Thank you, sir.
Go call the Spanish. Go till it. On the side you go down. No, show me tomorrow.
Ọ̀rọ̀ fọ ṣígbọ ṣí máa sọ.
All right, good night, everyone. See you once again.
Good night, sir.
All right, so Mr. Labi, you read it so that it can also end on YouTube.
Okay.
So, Mr. Labi, you can end it so that it can end on YouTube.
Good night, sir.
Mr. Jani, you are the host, so you can end. Akimat, Tijani, you can end it. Mrs. Tijani, oh, please end the stuff so that I can end on YouTube. Someone should help us reach out to Tijani about what you wanted to tell us more.
If I can teach in Spanish, Nico.
What did you say, sir?
Please end the YouTube so that sorry, end it. You are the host. End it here so that it can also end on YouTube.
Okay, I'm trying to do that. Okay.